Welcome to the Career Growth Sessions podcast brought to you by Destiny Education, a career and higher education advisory agency. I am BJ Barango, your host, and in this episode, we discuss the art of balancing work, education, and personal life. Striking a healthy equilibrium is essential for your well-being and success. So let's explore ways to harmonize these aspects. Balancing work, education, and personal life can be demanding, especially in today's fast-paced world. The pressure to excel in each area can lead to stress and burnout. However, achieving balance is possible with effective time management and prioritization. To get this right, you'll need to identify your priorities and allocate time accordingly. Set realistic goals and be kind to yourself when unexpected challenges arise. Remember that you don't have to do everything alone because you can seek support from family, friends, and colleagues when needed. There are strategies for work-life balance, and time management is key to achieving that balance. Organize your schedule and establish boundaries to ensure that you have time for work, studies, and personal pursuits, and relaxation as well, because that is important. Avoid overcommitting yourself and learn to say no when necessary. Maintaining a healthy work-life balance also involves taking care of your physical and mental well-being. Regular exercise, sufficient sleep, and mindfulness practices can help you recharge and manage stress. Also, balancing your personal life means nurturing relationships with family and friends. Make time for meaningful interactions, whether it's sharing meals together or engaging in activities that bring you joy. Strong support systems can provide encouragement and motivation during challenging times. Meet Osahen Oghogho, a current MBA student at American InterContinental University. I spoke with him on our Student Corner series and his higher education journey and how he is able to master the art of balancing work, education, and personal life. Let's get into that conversation to find out how he did it. My guest today is Osahen Oghogho, and he's an MBA student studying with a Destiny Education partner, American University. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And I've been wanting to do this with you for a while now. Great, we found time to sit down together and have this conversation.
Yes, I'm excited that at least we could create the opportunity to do this.
Great. You know, you're currently studying for an MBA. Yes. With a Destiny Education partner, American University, and you're specializing in management for the MBA.
Yes.
Interesting choice there. But I would like to dive into a lot about your choice of specialization, and your current career path. Before we get into that, let me ask you the most obvious question, because today we're talking about MBA or why you should enroll for an MBA program. So if you are to list, let's say, 5 reasons why you decided to enroll for an MBA degree, what will those reasons be?
I'll start with the very obvious reason many people do MBA. That is financial stability. Like, when you do your MBA, basically, you just know that among your credentials, even in your workplace, there's a way you just step up financially. It's like an addition to your credentials. So that was like one of my first reasons why I went for it. Secondly, there is just this extra credibility that goes with having an MBA. When you do a lot of administrative work, not necessarily a business per se, going through the MBA program is just going to give you that credibility. Having an MBA certificate will give you that credibility that, okay, yes, this person knows his onions, and then he's ready, he's qualified, he's equipped for it. And then thirdly, the exposure that it gives you. Knowledge is unending. Okay. I know that I learn a lot on the field, but then sometimes getting to know the people have done these things and they've put them into writings and they've structured them and they've defined them. So doing an MBA will help you or help me. I felt that doing an MBA will help me have definitions to some certain things that I just do. I would like call it freestyle.
Okay.
I just, some things I just say, okay, I think this should be like this. But then I know that going through school will help me have that definition. Okay, if it's my finances, maybe a course on the MBA will help me define how finances are to run. If it's management, if it's probably teamwork, whatever it is, I know that there will be proper definitions doing my MBA that will just help me have
understand all that
very well. And then fourthly, one of the reasons why I actually went for the kind of MBA I did was I wanted to understand beyond Nigeria's system of actually managing people.
When you say the kind of MBA,
yes.
What does that mean?
Okay, so as like from your introduction, I am actually doing my MBA with the American InterContinental University, and so it's an internationally accepted MBA actually in the US.
Yes.
So it's the teachings I believe are not just Nigeria based; these are internationally accredited universities, and so I really wanted something more than just maybe what the Nigeria educational system has to offer. So that was why I said, okay, let me go more internationally, and then I applied for it also. I think from the top of my head, that like the first 4 things I can mention that really made me go to do my MBA. Now, I feel it's key for someone to have that extra step to whatever it is. One thing I've often got to understand is that the MBA program helps you open you up to more opportunities also.
Yes.
It does not limit you to wherever it is that you are currently, because from what you understand that it can give you a foundation on business, can give you a foundation on administration, can give you a foundation even in a professional world where you actually have to deal with professionals. So it's quite much. There's so much if I want to think through it. There's so much benefits from doing your MBA now and doing it immediately. The best opportunity time that you have.
Yeah. The funny thing is we currently have an article published on our website, on the Destiny Education website, that talks about the reasons why you need an MBA.
Okay.
And you just mentioned them. All of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's an interesting part because, we decided to go through it. We did a bit of research and we had to come up with the top 5 reasons why people need an MBA. Nice. Number 1 on the list is actually personal development, where you get to know more. You said that already, where you get to, understand what you're doing in business and your career. You're growing. Yes. That is basically it. On the list as well is the high salary potential that it gives to you. And you also mentioned that, the financial part of it too.
That was the first thing I mentioned.
So it's kind of like it resonates with every single person who wants to take the career from one level to another. That this is something that you need to take serious. You need to do if you're thinking about higher education. So, but let me get to ask you now. Moving forward, before you decided to do this, before you had your reasons tabled down why you wanted to take an MBA, would you say that it was the right choice for you in terms of your career path currently?
Yes, I would say that because I can't imagine putting a lot of energy into doing my MBA when I know it's not in the path in which I want to go. Yeah. So currently, I studied electrical electronics engineering while in school, but life has put me on the path where I do a lot of administrative work. Maybe later I could maybe talk a little bit more on that. All right. But I saw that the MBA will be an added advantage for the career path that I choose to take now. Yes. And that was why I went for it. So yes, it's 100% in the path. It's a next step for me. And I'm excited about it. I'm very excited that I've started, and I'm excited and I'm going through it because I know that it's just the next step for me to where I see myself in the next 2-3 years. So yes, it's
great knowing that. One other thing that comes to mind right now is the fact that from the Destiny Education partner American universities, they offer the online degree programs.
Exactly.
And with you as an administrator, working with different people, that means you have a whole lot that you're doing.
Exactly.
You have so much that you need to take care of in terms of work, and now you have school added to it.
Exactly.
Have you been able to manage all that?
Okay. This is the time where I will say thank you to Destiny Education and then also the AIU platform, because they have given us the opportunity to do it online. It's not just like every other courses that we do online. I've taken a lot of courses on Coursera, FedEx, and the rest. But it's quite different. There's a uniqueness to it where it gives you an opportunity for you to actually do it at your own time. As much as there are time limits to everything, yes. You can actually have a defined time frame where you can just invest into doing it. So with all I do, I can just really let me be very practical. When I started initially, I gave 2 hours a day to my course program. Yes, and then over time I noticed that 2 hours was not it, and then I decided to give my weekends.
All right.
Yeah. So it's that flexible. Is that flexible? As much as you have assignments to meet up at a specific period of time that you can just put in some few minutes, but going through your classes and everything, it's quite flexible enough. So I gave this instance because, so I had the first 2 hours every day and it was working. But it's just that it was not working for me. Why? Because it takes me a while for me to get into the academic. When I sit down, it takes me another 1 hour, 30 minutes for me to just fully be there. And then I'm looking at, 2 hours is almost done. Let me go to the next thing. Yeah. So when I do weekends, I can do 6-7 hours, just be there. And so by the first 1 hour, 30 minutes, I'm in it. And then I just blow in and I just enjoy myself. And it's quite very interesting. Wow. The way it's really flexible enough for us to manage our time and do other things.
Your work and everything.
Yes, yeah.
You know, the work and the school dynamic has been a very tedious thing for a lot of people.
Yes.
Education is changing. Higher education is changing. You know, now it's going to a different form like it used to be in a traditional setting on the on-ground.
Yes.
Where people have to be in classes and you have to, before you get to see your lecturer, for instance, it takes like weeks, you know, because you have a class or a lecture room full of 50 students, 100 students, thereabout. But with this system, I hear that we've been able to put it in a way that you can interact with your professor.
Yes.
Is that the case?
Very true. Very, very true. AIU has been fantastic so far. It's segmented into different sections. There is what they call the discussion board, where you have the opportunity to meet your classmates, and then there is a direct contact with your professor at any time, especially during the working hours. You can just drop your message for them, and then whenever they come, they'll respond to you ASAP. I think almost every single time I've written to my professor, they've responded to me within 24 hours.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. There was only a time I had issues with a course I took. I submitted late, and then I just had to chat him up that these were the reasons why I couldn't meet up. And then he actually just gave me extra time. And I was like, wow. I was like, really? Wow.
I could engage my professor one-on-one.
Yes, one-on-one. And he understood because he made me understand that, yes, he has handled a lot of students, and we know that some people do 2-3 jobs. Like myself, currently I do 2 jobs. And he just explained that he understands, so that at least I'm still within the time frame of that unit, because the unit is like 12 days. So I was still within the time frame, but the time for the assignment I was like a day late. And so he told me that have I done it? I said yes, I should submit it. And then that was it. And I was like, wow. And then for the other course on leadership I was handling, our professor would basically chat us up to ask us if we have challenges
with the coursework itself.
Yes. And I was like, okay, this is different. Yeah. I know that because it's a lady, I know that she has quite a lot to do, but yet she takes out time to reach out to her students, on specific areas and all that. So it's just as they said, you have the direct contact with your professor, and they want you to know what they are teaching. They don't just want you to go and try to get the certificates. No, they want you to be there. They want you to know it. If you have any challenges, they give you the opportunity to retake it again and again until you get it very well. So yes,
I mean, from the way you sound, it seems like it's been fun learning online.
It is. Actually,
I've had conversations with people about higher education, and when I tell them, you know what, there's different programs. You don't need to quit your job to get a degree. You can be on the job, get a degree and also grow while still on the job.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, well, but it's online. It's a bit, relaxed. It's not like on ground when it's more difficult. And I tell them it's not about the difficult process. It's not that, but it's more of what you're gaining. You said something earlier that you had, apart from your lecturers or professors, you've had conversations with other classmates, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a networking opportunity when it comes to your MBA, because that is one key reason why people should take the MBA.
True.
One key reason, because of the global networking.
Yeah.
And I know that with your cohort, you have students who are not from your space
at all,
but from a global perspective. So how has that interaction been with them?
Okay, so so far it has not really gotten very personal. Okay. Because most of the times we work together on a project, and then people share ideas. But the interesting thing is that I've gotten to see different people with different amazing ideas. We all come together to just make the work. It's sometimes during the maybe the project we are handling, we get to talk some personal stuff, but you've not gotten very personal. But it's been really amazing because, like for instance, I've gotten some business ideas that some of them has shared. I've never imagined it. In fact, I'm not sure if they won't succeed in Nigeria, but yet I'm being exposed to it.
You're exposed to those
like if you engage me on these things now, I have an idea of how it's supposed to go. I have an idea on the kind of acceptance it is in the US, some in New York, some in California, Texas, different places with different ideas and why they are actually custom making their business ideas to their environment. So it's been really fantastic. Minus my professor with the amount of knowledge that they are sharing with us, I've actually had a quality wealth of experience without experiencing it from my classmates. And that's gold. That's gold to me also. So I just look forward to meeting them one-on-one, because there are opportunities like that when we have our live class where we just interact one or twice. So, but it's been great so far. It's been just great. I mean,
listening to you, hearing you talk about this, and hearing you talk about the fact that you're taking education, and it sounds fun. The perception is when I get my bachelor's, I should forget about school. I just go out there. But the MBA gives you the opportunity to grow in your career.
True.
And you sound really excited about this opportunity, studying for a degree that could take you from this level, from point A to point B. That means you're growing in this. What are your thoughts about higher education?
Okay, for anyone who is aiming high, for anyone who is not satisfied with where they are currently, definitely getting a higher education is mandatory. I cannot overemphasize the importance of studying, learning, growing consistently. And then for you to have relevance in the society, it's very, very important for you. So I see it, like I always tell people that getting your first degree most times is like almost mandatory, but then getting the next one, it's a choice you have to make. And I feel that anyone who sees themselves in their pinnacles of whatever career choices that they choose, or even in their businesses, I think getting a higher education is very important. It's very, very, very important. Not why I'm saying this, because some people, they feel that, okay, when you are maybe in the professional world, that's when you need it. Or when you want to be a lecturer, you want to be an academia, you need it. No, even in your personal business, yes, you need it for you to be able to have some kind of conversations at some certain level. To be honest, you just need it. Like I like what I shared earlier just now, the kind of interactions I have with other persons has given me a broader view of how to handle some certain things, because we share our challenges. Some persons basically tell us that they need to be out for 3 weeks, and that's this has happened. They started this and this was their failures. They have been demoted. There's also someone who actually had a demotion because of one thing or the other, and that's the reason why he's here. He just wanted to get a certain amount of knowledge, and it's already helping him because his boss has given him a kudos already, and it's been fine. It's been amazing. So I would always prescribe that anyone who really wants to get to the pinnacle, because if you don't want to just be a mediocre, where you just settle for what's coming in and what's going out, and just manage life. If you really want to go a step further. A higher education is mandatory.
Yeah.
It's going to expand your mind. It's going to keep you sharp.
Yes.
It's going to help you. The demand it gives to you mentally will help you develop the necessary faculty for you to actually hit on something better in life generally.
Interesting.
So it is. I would advise that anyone and everyone should get an higher education. In fact, I am already advising it honestly too, because I deal with a lot of young folks who are in the universities, who are about to graduate. When I hear that they are finished, they are done, especially when I'm talking to our final year students, I always tell them that, see, if you have the opportunity, get it immediately.
Once you're done,
get it immediately.
Just go ahead.
Don't. I know when I finished, I had to chill and get a lot of things, get into the job before I saw the need. But I wish I had the advice earlier to get a higher education, and the necessity for it. I think nobody did really advise me on it. So I would definitely go out and advise anybody and everybody, even while you are still trying to do, for those in Nigeria, while you're still doing your NYSC, try start applying for your master's, your MBA, get something, get a higher education. It's important.
Interesting you made that point. You said something earlier that caught my interest about the example of the coursemate who had a challenge at work, and he's currently taking the MBA, the same as you, in management, and it's helping him in his career. Would you say the same for you?
Totally. I've seen me apply. I've seen me make reference to some things that has been taught in class at my office.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, so when we are doing this, this was what the professor said. There was a place I was studying in the IntelliPact, and this was what they said.
Yeah,
there was a link to this, because one of the things that the MBA program I'm running currently does is not just provide you with the necessary information on ground in their campus or in their library, but they connect you also to other resources on YouTube and other places where you can get certain knowledge from. There are some of them that I've made references to that just help me manage myself properly, to assess some certain things. So it has been really helpful. I cannot overemphasize that it has been really, really helpful in my career path currently in the office. I also am trying to start up a business, and basically I've been using my business as my case study.
Wow.
In my MBA. So when I do it and my professor responds with correction, and I'm like, okay, so this is what it is.
Okay,
yes, so this is what I need to do. And then I just go back and I apply it. And I am seeing the result, not immediately, but I'm seeing progress.
Yes.
I'm seeing accountability even better. I get to understand what my failures are by just applying those simple techniques that I've gotten from studying in my MBA.
It's interesting, pretty interesting. And, for business people who want to be entrepreneurs, they go for MBA just so they can, upskill themselves, get a bit more credible standing in the industry, as well as be like the go-to person, and they're taking the business from this level to a more level of expertise.
Yes.
Now for the MBA management, it's quite a unique choice.
Mm-hmm.
And what triggered your interest for that? Because there's a whole lot of specializations, particularly with the current university you're on.
Yes.
There are about 4 specializations.
Yes, true.
And, the one deals with finance, marketing. Yeah. You have operations management. You have project management.
Yes.
But why management?
Okay. Well, life has put me on the path where I do a lot of managerial work.
Okay.
Currently, the International Executive Officer of a campus outreach that's scattered across the country. We are about in more than 65 different chapters in different universities.
Wow.
And then also there's a hierarchical structure that makes me manage people a lot, and manage processes and manage systems. And as much as there is a part to leadership, there is a strong part to management where systems needs to be kept running. And so that aside, then I have another part of my work where I basically manage the operations of an organization. And then I have my business where I have to manage the business. So I saw the need for me to get grounded as a manager. I saw the need for me to, I really wanted to get processes that will make it easier for me to manage all this easier. That was really my desire. I wanted to be able to do as much as I'm doing with ease. It's quite demanding currently. So I know that doing an MBA and then trying to focus on management will help me do that with much ease when I get to understand. So that's why I'm really excited about the program. That's why when I'm talking, I'm excited about the things that I've learned.
Yes.
And funny enough, one of the first courses I had to take was leadership.
Wow.
Yes, it's funny. And it has helped me. I've read a lot of books on leadership, but then this one is quite different.
It's more like a practical experience from the professors.
It's more like what people, because most of the books on leadership that I've read has always dealt with the charisma
of
but
a
then
leader.
Now they tell you about the charisma part of leadership, but then they tell you about what really is leadership, that it has to do with a lot of decision making and all that. So and then all that I'm currently doing a course on finance, and honestly I'm a terrible financial person. I can say that. And they are giving me practical terms where I can just use and plug and play and just really get my job done.
Yeah.
So going on management was because of all the many things that I see myself doing, and I see that this is my strength actually.
Okay.
Even in my career path as an engineer, I'm trying to improve myself in management in engineering. Also, I'm doing my MSc currently too on engineering management.
Wow.
So it's so that's the path I want to follow. That's a career path where I know that I'm dealing a lot with management. I have a certification in project management already, but then I just really want to be grounded in that.
In all this.
And
it's great.
Then I actually searched for one other thing that I'm appreciative to AIU about is that there are very few universities, especially that with this kind of flexibility, that deals with MBA in management.
Okay.
I was shocked when I knew that there was a focus on management. Yes.
So it has always been your interest.
It has been my interest, but I got to a point where I said, okay, let me just do MBA. But then when I came to Destiny Edu and I spoke to the consultant I met there, and she was like, we have actually, because I was just trying to tell her why I was in it. And she was like, we actually have management. I was like, wow. And I just jumped on it, and I'm really excited. So that's basically it, because it's the path I want to follow. It's the things I am doing currently at 3 levels. And I just really want to get better at it. I want to know my onions on that. So, and just really be the best I could be in it.
From what you've said so far, it has given me an idea that this is actually the real deal. If you want to get a bit of credibility on your own side and you want to be the person people look up to or reach out to. When you talk about business administration, you talk about finance, you talk about management, marketing, whatever, then an MBA degree is what you have to look out for.
Sure.
But I have to ask you this right now, because we'll be wrapping up in a minute.
Okay.
You started this program and you've gone this far in it.
Yes.
And you're taking it from an American university.
Yes.
Why an American university? Why not home ground?
It's for the global reach.
Okay.
Yes. I checked the university before I went on, and they have the necessary accreditations that are needed and acceptance that are needed for the program that I'm about to run. And so I feel that doing it outside Nigeria will help me expose me to the world, even at a larger scale.
Yeah.
If you see all the experiences I've shared, actually, it's making me feel like as if, okay, I've traveled out. I've traveled to so many countries because the university is not only encompassed of just students from the US. Just like me, I'm from Nigeria.
Yeah.
There are some people from Asia that are
currently
in the university. So I am getting a world view of various perspectives. And then our professor has actually handled a lot of people at these various capacities. So their knowledge is actually very vast. So I chose to do that of the American InterContinental University so that I could just really have that exposure internationally, globally. Yeah, so that's my basic reason why I chose it.
What would you say to someone who is looking to improve, their career and education?
Okay, so I would advise you to get an MBA, but then I would advise you to get one that is good, is fast, and gives you the necessary quality that you need. Looking at the financial part, I think there are already programs on ground that will help you be able to get your MBA at a cheaper level with scholarships attached to it, like one I'm benefiting currently from Testimonial Edu. So definitely, I just advise people that, okay, get it, make a plan, know what you want to do, know what you want, the higher education you want to step into, because different people with different areas they want to further in.
Yes.
But most people who do business is definitely, or who even those that are going to the banking system and so many areas like that, I always advise get your MBA as soon as possible. Start now. If you want to go through the steps, I am here for advice. I definitely am here for advice.
All right.
If I've not done it, I can advise somebody to do it, basically. So doing this podcast, talking to you, enjoying myself in AIU, you will just know that this is something I will definitely share to everybody and say, okay, come on, jump on this. Thanks to Destiny Edu, they've made it easy. I don't know if I should share some information of what really Destiny Edu has done.
You can go ahead.
Because the program I'm doing currently, it's actually very massive.
Okay.
It's like $30,000.
Yeah.
And then Destiny Edu gives you more than 80% scholarship. And that's fantastic. If you want to convert that to Naira, you're almost looking at almost 17 million Naira.
Yes.
And then I'm paying less than 3 million actually for the program. And I'm getting a 17 million worth of program. Come on. If you're hearing me and you don't want to do this, there's something wrong with you. But truly, I would always advise people to get on this. It's internationally accredited. Is everything that I'm saying and more. I even know that I'm not even enjoying the full package.
Okay.
Because I'm fully engaged with work. But if you're a student that just graduated, you have time.
Yeah.
All the resources that is available to you, you can actually study on them. Me, I basically take what I need.
Yes.
But then there is so much more. There are like different platforms. There is the discussion board, there's IntelliPad, there's what they call Muse. That Muse is just information. Just get a lot of links to so many things that you can get. And then there is the library that you have full access to.
Yes.
And come on, if you like book, let me say it in Nigeria, in Lagos, if you like book, you will see book enough and you get enough information. So I always advise people to jump on this and get it done.
Thank you very much for sharing your time with us and for allowing us to have this conversation. It's been interesting having this conversation with you, and I am really I'm happy for you. Just so I'm really happy for you.
I'm happy for me.
Sometimes people say online education is stressful, but with you saying how you're enjoying the learning online, it seems that everyone needs to embrace the new frontier for higher education.
Yeah.
So Osahen Oghogho, it's great having you on this podcast today.
It's a pleasure being here.
So continue learning. You can connect with the Destiny Education Career Advisor to receive free counseling sessions on how to balance work, life, and education. Balancing work and education and personal life is a continuous process of self-awareness and adjustment. Prioritize your well-being, maintain healthy boundaries, and cultivate a support system to thrive in all areas of your life. Also, take advantage of the offerings of Destiny Education. Seek career counseling and also enroll in one of our partner American universities to study for a bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degree program in fields like business administration, science and information technology, healthcare, management, and education. You also have the opportunity to access a grant that pays up to 90% of your tuition. Well, that's the much we can take in today's episode of the Career Growth Sessions podcast. Remember to subscribe, share, leave a comment, and rate the podcast. We would love others to gain from this knowledge. Make sure you tune in to future episodes for more insightful discussions on your career development journey.